Welcome to Feel Better, Live Better. I'm your host, Stephanie Bridges, and each week we talk about simple ways to fuel your body, free your mind, and create the energy and confidence you need to live well. Let's get started. All right, today I want to talk about negative feelings. We make them out to be this big problem, like feeling sad, anxious, angry, frustrated must mean something's wrong with me. But what if negative feelings aren't a problem at all? They're not fun, that's for sure. No one wakes up hoping to feel anxious today, but they are normal. They're part of being human, and most of us get that in theory. But the minute a negative feeling shows up, we tend to go into resistance mode. We tell ourselves we shouldn't be sad. We try to fix our frustration as fast as possible, or we pile on with more anxiety about the fact that we're anxious because somewhere along the way we decided if it doesn't feel good, it must be bad. So for just a second, let's think about our body. The body is pretty incredible. It does so many things like digest food, sweat, grow hair, filter out toxins, heal cuts. All the processes of our body, if you think about it, are kind of amazing. Our body knows just what to do. Some of those are awesome, and others are actually kind of gross, like going to the bathroom or having your period. But none of us are waking up mad in the morning because we know that's just how our bodies work. In fact, if it isn't happening, we go to the doctor because we can see that something's wrong. So we deal with it because we know it's a sign of a healthy body. So we aren't mad about it. But imagine if we resisted those things. What if every time I had to go to the bathroom, I got mad and thought, I just did this yesterday. Why do I have to do this again? So negative emotion is just as normal. It's as much a sign that we're healthy as going to the bathroom. Feeling sad, anxious, annoyed, angry, lonely, those are all totally normal things. Now, I'm not saying we should never take a look at why we're feeling that way. The story that we're telling ourselves about what's happening around us, or that we shouldn't sometimes rein in our emotions and choose how we want to think instead. But we are not meant to never feel negative emotion. And feeling anxious is a very normal part of life. And I think in this day and age, we tend to forget that. Some people think because they feel anxious, something must be wrong with them. And then they resist it and try to get rid of it. And that just makes that feeling even stronger. It's just like going to the bathroom. If you didn't just let it flow and release, the urge would get stronger and stronger until it just burst out. So being mad about what you're feeling or telling yourself you shouldn't be feeling it only makes it worse. I keep going back to this bathroom analogy, but we make accommodations for our bodily functions. We make sure we go to the bathroom before we leave on a car trip or stop when we're traveling to go to the bathroom. And we don't think it's abnormal. So why can't we learn to accommodate our emotions? So ask yourself, is it actually a problem that I'm upset? Or is it a natural feeling most people would have when faced with the thing that you're being faced with? Maybe you just want to be upset. There are plenty of times when I know my thoughts and feelings aren't really getting me what I want, but dang it, I just want to be mad for a bit, and that's okay. Allowing emotion and processing it is the fastest way through it. When a feeling comes up, the physical sensation itself usually only lasts about 90 seconds in the body. What keeps it hanging around is the story we tell about it. Thoughts like, this shouldn't be happening, or I don't want to feel this. That's what keeps the cycle going. You'll notice something interesting when you start allowing emotions instead of resisting them. A lot of times, the feeling you first recognize, like anger, isn't actually the root emotion. Anger is usually what we grab onto because it feels stronger, more powerful, more in control. But often underneath anger is something softer, like worry or fear or sadness or even disappointment. Those emotions feel really vulnerable, so our brain quickly flips them into anger. It's a way of trying to gain that control back. So say, for example, one of my kids misses curfew. I get worried, but worry doesn't feel good because I feel helpless. So instead, I get angry because anger feels more powerful. From that, I can feel like I'm in control, but I do and say things that aren't really helpful in that situation. If I just sit in my worry and I let myself know it's a perfectly normal feeling to feel worried at that time, then I'm not fighting it, and I'm much more receptive to the right way to handle it. So if I can do something about it, I will. But if I can't, then I can just know it's a normal mom thing to be worried. There's a temptation when you learn about coaching and emotions to say, well, I'll just coach myself into not feeling worried or overwhelmed or anxious or whatever the emotion is. Or we think, I'll just change my thought and think something positive. And sometimes thinking a different thought can really be helpful, but most of the time, we're just trying to convince ourselves that we feel differently than we do. It's like you have to pee and you're telling yourself, just think, I don't need to pee, I don't need to pee. Sometimes it's just, I'm going to be worried right now, or angry or overwhelmed because that makes sense. How would it change things if you didn't tell yourself it was wrong to feel the way that you're feeling? Now the chatter in my head isn't, my child is so irresponsible, why can't they just do what they're told? It's more like, of course you're worried. You love them and you want to be sure that they're safe. It's okay. Take a deep breath and let's think about this. So now we can look at what our options are, and we can find out what happened instead of just jumping to conclusions and yelling. But I have to admit, as long as I've been doing this, that still isn't my first response. My first response is always going to be my brain freaking out and thinking the worst possible thing. But then I can back up and slow things down and ask myself what else could be true and what might be most helpful in that moment. So I naturally want to go into that shame-blame cycle, but being worried, angry, sad, overwhelmed isn't actually a problem, so I don't need to solve it. The emotion or even the circumstance isn't the problem, because there are so many things that I get upset or worried about that don't bother my husband at all. He can just think through it rationally. And at the same time, there are things that bother him that I don't think are a big deal. So it can't be the circumstance, or everyone in the world would feel the same about that same thing. Okay, the things we struggle with are unique, and the things that come easy to us are unique. When I'm having a hard time with something, I'll tell my husband, it isn't you. I'm just feeling overwhelmed or sad or really mad about this, and I need some time to work through it. When we can let our family know that, then we're teaching our kids that whatever we feel is perfectly normal, and model for them ways to handle big emotions. I don't need to feel guilty about how I'm feeling or figure out whose fault it is. This is the alternative to fixing feelings. Just allowing feelings and being compassionate with yourself as you process them. Okay, so let's switch gears here just a little bit. What if we stopped not wanting people to feel bad. Not that we hope people will feel bad, but what if we just allowed them their emotions? What is the reason we don't want someone else to feel something? Like when one of our kids feels sad or angry or lonely. The reason we don't want them to feel that is ultimately because it makes us uncomfortable. And then we have to process negative emotions. So you might be thinking, all right, I can handle that for myself, but what do I do when my child is sad or hurt about something that's happened? For example, if they don't make it onto a sports team that they really wanted to be a part of, or the person they like doesn't like them back, or they didn't get invited to the party that they were really hoping to go to. As a mom, we want to fix it for them so they don't have to feel the pain. We try to fix it in all kinds of ways. We try talking to the coach or calling the other parent, or we give them advice of what they can say or how they can do things differently. We try to literally fix the outside circumstance so they don't have to go through it. But, didn't I just learn that circumstance isn't the problem? So now let me fix their thinking. So we try things like, oh, well, you didn't really want to go to that party. None of your other friends are going to be there. Or it's a good thing you didn't make that team because now you'll have time to do X, Y, and Z. Or, oh, that boy doesn't know what he's missing. You are amazing and beautiful, and there's so many other boys in the world. Not that we don't want to say some of those things, but when we do it because we want to fix how they're feeling, or let's be honest, we want to make sure we don't have to feel the negative emotions about their negative emotions, but then we aren't allowing them and ourselves to have a real human experience. And we're teaching them that feeling bad is dangerous. We can say things to kind of test the waters to see where they are, but most of the time they really don't want to change the way that they're thinking. So what does that sound like when we just allow them to have their feelings? We might say something like, oh, I'm sorry, that is really hard and I know that hurts. I love you. What do you need right now? Do you need some time alone, or do you want to go for a walk together? Is there anything that I can do? Most of the time, they'll say no. There isn't anything that you can do. And for the most part, they just needed someone to validate how they were feeling, not to tell them you shouldn't feel that way. So the alternative to fixing feelings is just allowing feelings and allowing other people the space to feel what they are feeling. All right, so we're coming to the best part, the part that everybody loves. Let's do our SRT clearing for today. So remember, I'll say deep breath in. You take a breath in and hold your breath while repeating the statement that I say silently in your mind, and then you breathe out. That's it. All right, so deep breath in. I release all embarrassment with, if I feel anxious, sad, or angry, it means something's wrong with me. Deep breath in. I release all resistance with, if I feel anxious, sad, or angry, it means something is wrong with me. Deep breath in. I release all judgment with, if I feel anxious, sad, or angry, it means something is wrong with me. Deep breath in. I release all blocks to kindness with, if I feel anxious, sad, or angry, it means something is wrong with me. And deep breath in. I release all blocks to self-love with, if I feel anxious, sad, or angry, it means something is wrong with me. Deep breath in and out. Okay, deep breath in. I release all annoyance with, I shouldn't feel negative emotions. I should be able to stay positive all the time. Deep breath in. I release all frustration with, I shouldn't feel negative emotions. I should be able to stay positive all the time. Deep breath in. I release all irritation with, I shouldn't feel negative emotions. I should be able to stay positive all the time. Deep breath in. I release all worry with, I shouldn't feel negative emotions. I should be able to stay positive all the time. Deep breath in. I release all blocks to compassion with, I shouldn't feel negative emotions. I should be able to stay positive all the time. Deep breath in. I release all blocks to peace with, I shouldn't feel negative emotions. I should be able to stay positive all the time. And deep breath in. I release all blocks to patience with, I shouldn't feel negative emotions. I should be able to stay positive all the time. And deep breath in and out. Okay, deep breath in. I release all fear with, negative emotions are dangerous and I need to get rid of them quickly. Deep breath in. I release all anger with, negative emotions are dangerous and I need to get rid of them quickly. Deep breath in. I release all shame with, negative emotions are dangerous and I need to get rid of them quickly. Deep breath in. I release all stress with, negative emotions are dangerous and I need to get rid of them quickly. Deep breath in. I release all blocks to self-expression with, negative emotions are dangerous and I need to get rid of them quickly. Deep breath in. I release all blocks to infinite potential with, negative emotions are dangerous and I need to get rid of them quickly. And deep breath in. I release all blocks to letting go with, negative emotions are dangerous and I need to get rid of them quickly. And deep breath in and out. All right, let's do our fill ups. Okay, deep breath in. I'm so happy and grateful that it's okay for me to feel what I feel. Emotions come and go, and letting them move through me is part of being human. And deep breath in. I'm so happy and grateful I can handle uncomfortable feelings. They don't mean something's wrong with me. They're just a sign that I care and that I'm alive. And deep breath in and out. All right, so let's remember, negative emotions aren't bad. They're not problems to be solved. They're part of a healthy, functioning human life. The more we fight them, the worse they get. The more we allow them, just like sweating or digestion or needing to go to the bathroom, the easier they pass. Okay, that was not a pun intended, but you know what I mean. All right, now we are living a life not without negative emotions, but a life where you're no longer afraid of them. If you have loved this episode, please follow me and give me a rating. I would love comments and I'll read all of them. Please share this with someone you love. And if you love this subconscious release work and you want a personal session just for you, or you want to see what pre-recorded sessions I have that you can do on your own time, just go to my website, livingthebestyou.com, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me today on Feel Better, Live Better. If you're ready to take the next step, be sure to go to my website, livingthebestyou.com. You'll find free resources and the support you need to accomplish your goals. And if this podcast connects some dots for you, please follow and share with a friend. Until next time, remember, when you feel better, you really do live better.